If somebody is undergoing 6 months of treatment and was granted a conservatorship as well as the 5150 placed on that psychiatric hold, to you guys, what normally falls into that category to make them a candidate for that?
Well, let me sort of speculate. I'm going to speculate with Judy. I'm going to say if the difference between, say, a Britney Spears, whose parents got a indefinite conservatorship, suggest chronic mental illness, as opposed to when they get temporary conservatorship, which is hard to get for addiction, but it suggests addiction and not mental illness. Judy, you agree with me on that?
You're absolutely right, Dr. Drew. That's usually the case. And, unfortunately for Amanda Bynes, and actually for a lot of people who have addiction issues, as you know, Dr. Drew, you're an expert in this area. Most people who have addiction issues, it's a lifelong battle. You're constantly having to deal with that, dealing with triggers, using your coping skills, and it's like a landslide. If one thing happens, your whole entire treatment could go out the window and you're not sober again. You have to start over. So this could be something that's going on with Amanda. As we know, when she was arrested, she was on substances, and we don't know exactly what it was.
Right, and so were the substances triggering things that look like mental illness? So we're hearing that she had a stimulant, and people on stimulants can become manic and become psychotic, so it could all be ultimately stimulant, or the stimulant can precipitate a bipolar episode who's someone who's prone to bipolar. So it's both, as Erica is suggesting. But my concern is that the one downside to a conservatorship for addiction is, well, it's kind of a big one, which is that while you save the person's life in the short term, the necessary desire to get better doesn't sometimes come from the individual. So when the conservatorship ends, they don't really want to be sober. They're just being held to their sobriety by the conservatorship. And so,
so what do you do?
Well, in this country, Samantha, you're allowed to use drugs until you die. That's the nature of this country. You just can't say, I'm going to kill myself with drugs, which is what's crazy. If you say, I'm going to kill myself with drugs, or you say, I'm Napoleon because I took speed, I'm figuratively, I'm psychotic, then we can hold you. But if you say, hey, leave me alone, I just want to use drugs, you're entitled to do that. You just can't, we just can't catch you with the drugs, because then we'll put you in jail as opposed to the hospital. It's just a crazy system.